Beatmaking Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beatmaking Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because we're going back to back with bangers. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to build a beat around a trap melody. Okay, how to build a trap beat around a trap melody in Logic Pro 10. Now, I have these two melody samples. Basically, they're the same sample. This one is like a mid-ranged one, and one is pitched higher. So this is what the sample sounds like. And then this is the higher pitched one. And then this is everything together. Alright, so the first thing I would do to build a beat around a sample, a melody, a trap melody, is to start off with a clap. If you click on clap, okay, and come over here to the scissors step sequencer, if you click right there dead center, it's gonna already get you some claps right where they need to be. So now you have your claps. You can push Command R to basically double this, and then we can also convert this to MIDI region. Command J to join, and now we have our claps. So now after you get your claps going, next thing is the hi-hats. I would start the pattern very simple. Take that playhead to the very beginning of the loop here by pushing enter, and you just push on the scissors and then go to step sequencer. And so we're going to start this off every other one, okay, and then we'll get more detailed as the pattern goes. So I'll just go ahead and double this by pushing Command R and highlight this, convert to MIDI region. Okay, so now I can click one of these notes and I can add one of these notes in here to add like a little stutter step or whatever. Now we could do some crazy hi-hat patterns and stuff like that and effects, but I would recommend, especially if you're a beginner, keeping your hi-hat pattern pretty simple like I just did. Let's go ahead and now move on to adding a snare. A pretty simple pattern to add to a snare is this. To draw that in, I would probably say the quicker way to do it is do the step sequencer. And so what you could do is follow the actual white guy right here, this little white box. And move this up some to like 32. Command R, it's gonna double that, highlight it, convert to MIDI region. Command J to join it, and now we got our snare. Cool thing too, we could take this now and also move this up or down some to get a better cadence. If you hold down Option and push up, you can move it up or down. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a kick drum pattern. Same thing. I think that step sequencer is gonna be a pretty easy way to add that kick drum pattern. Go to 32 steps, and we're gonna move this over here to the beginning. Start with a downbeat. And as you saw, that little white outlined white box, you can kind of see where you should put your next step as the beat is playing. You can put it at 64 steps if you want it to be more detailed in the pattern. Now you can go ahead, right click, convert it to MIDI region, Command J, and then we have our pattern. We can always make changes here. Now, time for the 808. The 808 is probably going to be easier to make using the piano roll, okay? And what you could do here, the first thing you want to do is find that initial downbeat or that first note, and you want it to match up with the first note of the melody. So that first note is like one tip, use a piano sound to find the note, and now you know what the note is, the C sharp. Now I can come over here and play the 808. Then what you could do too is extend that out. Right click this, force legato, and you have this one 808 note that's extended throughout the whole loop. And then I can just pretty much use this playhead to come over here and chop this up, and then we can move the notes up or down if we need to. Now what you could do as well with the 808 too, sometimes you want to keep it consistent, but sometimes you also want to follow the melody of the sample. So like for instance, this sample goes bum 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 bum. Listen to like the down note in this sample. So maybe I kind of added a little extra to it, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So I could come over here and get fancy with this and make this 808 go. And now that we have our pattern pretty much created here, I can come over here and copy and paste this. So and now that pattern's created, I can come over here and now move the notes where they need to go. Holding down Option and pushing the up arrow. And then two, sometimes it makes it simpler instead of having to come over here and create the same pattern over here. I found a pattern that's pretty solid, I could just take this and double it, Command R, and now we got that full pattern here. At least get a good starter 808 pattern. The beat kind of switches up a little bit over on this side. So what we could do too, this is a tip, to use the loop marker here to focus in on one part of the beat that you need to adjust. So I can zoom in, and now we can just focus on adding this, making this like match up with the melody of the sample. All right, cool. So we have our 808 pattern. Took a little longer than what I wanted it to, but pretty much we have a solid 808 pattern, and you can always come in here and use the playhead to chop it up even more to make it a little bit more, bouncier and everything. So let's just check it out as it is. Always listen to make sure that the notes are in key. Alright, cool. So after you do that, you want to make sure now that the pattern's tight. Just listen to it. Make sure everything is kind of like working together. I did notice that this kick kind of like could be worked on, make it match up with the 808 a little better. So let's just listen to it all the way through, and then you're gonna see me edit that part. Cool. So like really that first part of the beat is pretty solid, but like everything over from there kind of gets messy. So let's just listen. And really, you put a downbeat on most of the 808 hits. But sometimes it like helps to keep it simple instead of like doing it all the time with the kick. Make the kick like more of an emphasis to emphasize the 808. that. So now at this point, the beat is pretty much done. There are a couple extra things we can do to make the beat even better. One would be to maybe add like some snare rolls or add some like hi-hat rolls and 808 rolls, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and do that. So what I'll do first off is go ahead and double this, Command R, and I'm just gonna extend this right here, this loop. Or really we could kind of take this and do something like this, because most snare rolls and everything comes towards the end of the beat. And I could just come over here to the end of the beat to get the snare roll or the 808 kick roll, whatever we want to do. So let's do this. Let's actually start off with an 808 roll. It's pretty much gonna complicate this or make it a little bit more complex. And two, it's like, say if I want to repeat this, instead of trying to go here and chop all this up, just delete this, grab this, Command C to copy it, Command V to paste it, and then we can just move it down one, push Option. And then we can also come over here and do a couple of extra stutters with the kick. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put this little stutter step like right here. We're gonna put it right here instead. So just push Command C and then Command V to copy and paste it. That's all. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and copy that on over here. I like that little stutter step. So you can kind of hear it better, actually, just keeping it, you know, on the kick rather than putting it on both. So anyway, we got that. Now let's talk about the snare roll. We can come over here and kind of actually follow this kick. You can also sound it out in your head. I'm thinking like a tap, 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 tap. You feel me? Something like that. You could do it like that too. that. So now we have a dope little snare roll here, and you can always come in and, you know, make these hi-hats crazier too. That also kind of can help just to give a little differentiation. So I can come over here, just put them maybe some other random places. Now let's just check out our whole pattern here and see how it sounds. So we gotta clean this beat up just a little bit more from here, but for the most part, I just want to show y'all a couple of tips and everything when it came to making a drum pattern around a trap sample. Appreciate y'all watching, and let me know in the comment section what y'all want to see next. Also, make sure you head over to our site, beatmakingbasics.com. Beatmakingbasics.com is going to be your #1 place to get the training that you need to level up in your beats, to get the sounds and the templates that you need to make your process easier when it comes to either mixing or coming up with melodies and different things like that. So make sure you head over to the site, all right? Grab a course, a kit, a template, or you can get a bundle deal where you can get every single thing on the site. Just go to the site, you know, check everything out, and I appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next video.